Hello, my name is Michal Kaczmarski and I'm markets editor with FDA magazine. We are here at the last day of IMF annual summits, and I'm joined by Tatyana Orozco de la Cruz, Director of National Planning from Colombia. Hello. Let's talk Colombia. Colombia, one of the emerging stars of Latin America. I looked at FBI markets data and it seems like Colombia is really delivering on the promise. In 2009, 64 projects. In 2012, 117, nearly double the number. Why?
Well, Colombia is one of the countries that is attracting more foreign direct investment in the time in Latin America. And I think it is because, to a point, we have been doing the right economic policy measures towards attracting foreign direct investment. We are a stable economy with a democracy in place that respects private property. So those are things that are taken into account by international investors, and they have been coming through the last couple of years also because Colombia has been doing a lot of efforts to promote Colombia abroad, to tell the world what Colombia is like, what are the sectors that are booming, and those new investments have been coming in. And we have had also investments not only coming into Colombia from countries in Europe, from the US, but also Chile's first country where Chile invests at the time is Colombia. And we have been receiving investments from other countries in Latin America as well.
So you're saying you're actually targeting your neighbors as well?
Yes,
right?
Because many of these companies have decided to grow also with the neighboring countries. And I think that we have been starting to see a lot of multi-Latin companies, or so we call them, that are investing in other countries of Latin America. And also a lot of Colombian companies have also started to invest abroad. And actually Colombia nowadays has approved Pro-Export to also promote Colombian investment abroad. So that is something new for the country that we hadn't been targeting, but for us it is also important to receive foreign direct investment, but also for our companies to invest abroad.
And the domestic market, I would imagine, plays a role as well. I mean, we all know about Brazil, and there's a lot of talk in Europe how much this is the continent on its own because of the sheer size. But then we look at Colombia, we don't realize it's over 47 million people. By European standards, this is a massive country.
Yes, and many of these companies that are investing now, apart from the ones that are, of course, in mining, have been investing because of the expansion of the Colombian economy over the last couple of years.
Absolutely, and we were talking about Colombian certain industries booming. Which are the industries and sectors that are booming, where the FDI goes to?
The sectors that have been booming the most are the mining sector, to a point, because we have been investing a lot and we have been receiving a lot of foreign investments for mining, for petrol, for all of these products. But also we have been receiving a lot of investment in terms of infrastructure. And Colombia actually nowadays is promoting investments in infrastructure all over the country, particularly in roads, but also in electricity and different sectors. But also many logistics companies have been coming to Colombia again to target not only the national market, but to target international markets through Colombia, and putting their first feet or first hand in Colombia towards getting into Latin America.
And it seems like, looking at the FDA data, that putting a first hand or in Colombia doesn't have to necessarily start in the capital city. I mean, you yourself, I know that your role prior to working focusing on national planning was working for Barranquilla. Barranquilla is one of the cities in Colombia, and number 2 destination for FDI. What are other places, and why other places should be interesting for investors?
But for example, if you look, and that is particularly true, Colombia is a country of regions, and being a country of regions, you can see different type of economical structures in different areas of the country. For example, you mentioned Barranquilla. Barranquilla is receiving a lot of investment, particularly in logistics, in the manufacturing sector and in the BPO sector. If you move on to a city like Medellin, Medellin has been receiving a lot of investments in the BPO sector and also investment and research and banking, and you get a different type of companies coming into Medellin. And then in Cali you see manufacturing and logistics, and then in Bogota you see a little bit of everything, because we do have a lot of headquarters establishing in Bogota at the same time to target all of Latin America or to target the Andean countries as a whole. And I just wanted to highlight some data, and it is that Colombia has one of the highest investment rates at 28.6% of its GDP, and we have been the country that has in Latin America that is generating the most number of jobs, more than 2 million jobs between 2010 and 2013, which has meant and has allowed us to decrease unemployment rates in the country in the last couple of years.
And that we meant not only by attracting for investments, but domestic growth as well.
Domestic growth as well has contributed a lot towards employment generation.
And my final question, do Colombia feels the kind of spillover effects from Argentina, and the fact that investors do not go to Argentina as often as they used to because of the business climate slightly changing?
I think to a point Colombia has a lot to offer by itself. Colombia, as you mentioned and as we discussed before, the fact that the internal economy is growing, that it's a market of more than 45 million people, I think it's a very different economy when you compare it to Argentina. The only sector that I would think we are competing in is particularly the BPO sector, where we have seen some shifts of investments from Argentina to Colombia. But apart from that, the mining sector, for example, there are investments that are being done in the country because of our natural resources. So I don't see people shifting one investment towards the other. They're just different economies that attract different types of investments.
Thank you very much for your time, and best of luck for the remainder couple of hours of the summit. Thank you.
Thank you.